Hey, what's going on, everybody? One day I'm gonna actually get me a theme song to the show. Okay, I'm gonna have an intro and a theme song, so I don't just pop up. Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, so welcome back to another episode. This is episode 4 of the virtual show. Started a couple of weeks back, almost a month ago. Well, actually a month ago, called Quality Comedy Time with Quincy. That's me. So. But I did it to create an opportunity for comics just to kind of, let some things off our chest because we are, like our hands are behind our back right now. So we can't perform in front of live audiences. And for a lot of us, that is our livelihood. That's what we're used to. So we get on here, get a chance to drop some nuggets to the audience. The audience, we want you to engage. So definitely, if you are watching right now, click the share button and share it to your people because we got a very interesting show lined up for you today. So I'm super excited about that. I don't know if you guys saw last week's show. I had 2 comics that I went to Spain with on the Norwegian cruise line, and that was a very funny episode, very funny show. So shout out to them. This week we definitely got a different show. You can see I got a chair here, so I got a guest in the building who's going to be next to me, right? And you can probably guess who that is. It's Quarantine, right? All right, so just like the Quality Comedy series, my monthly show that I do every month at Dave & Buster's, I can't help but to give stuff away. So I'm always giving stuff away. People send me donations all the time, and I like to just pay it forward. So just like I always do, I call it quarantine cash. You have to stay on this initial live to qualify for it. But it comes in the form of getting the first one to have the right answer, put it in the comments to a trivia question that I will ask sometime during this Facebook Live, okay? And the first person to type in the correct answer, I will Cash App you, Venmo you, however you do it, without me handing it to you, okay? So I'll give you that money so you can use it for gas. Go to Aldi's, Food Lion, go wherever you're going to go, okay? Also, we have live good conversation just throughout. We talk about all topics. No topic is off limits. We just don't curse. We just don't use profanity to get our point across. We don't use any vulgar language, and that's the Quality Comedy brand. Okay? So let me make sure I have everything else. Oh, yes. And before we get to the show, before we bring in our first guest, I want to recognize today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is actually one of our guests, but April's Joy Desserts. Okay, from event planning to catering your next event, big or small, she also provides a variety of tasty treats, including but not limited to custom cakes and cupcakes. Okay, so for more information, please visit www.aprilsjoydesserts.com or call 757-535-5290. If she didn't want a number on it, it shouldn't have been on her Facebook, because that's exactly where I took it from. All right. But also her information is in the description as well. So you can definitely go to the description and you can even find her on Facebook as well. Okay, cool. Well, without any further ado, let's introduce my first guest. This person, let me toss this out the way. Hold up. Let me make sure, because I told her that this was very special. So my first guest is probably the realest, big head deflator of all time. She's I don't care if you're on TV, you still got to take out the trash type person. But I know her for the past 20 something odd years. I love her to death, and we can't do nothing without each other because she's still here with me. Y'all, let's welcome my wife, Sabrina Carr, to the show.
You ain't had to call me out like that.
Yeah, big head deflator.
I thought you were going to call me a big head.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No.
Wouldn't do that at all. Yeah. So, welcome to the show. And we have 2 more guests. This is a special relationship and business and comedy show. So I wanted to have my wife here in this next power couple that I'm introducing to the stage. They are married, and they have hearts bigger than their home state of Virginia. And a lot of you know them, whether it's their work in the body of Christ or as individuals. They're very passionate. One of them is, a professional comedian, travels the country doing stand-up comedy. And the other is a fully self-employed baker, caterer, and event coordinator. Let's go ahead and welcome to the show both Patrick and April Williams. How y'all doing?
What's going on?
Hey, what is good? Now, to all the viewers that are seeing this thing, this is not a double date in any way, shape, or form.
Yes, it is.
Not a double date. We're going to come together today to help solve a lot of problems and maybe answer some questions. So if you are tuning in, I will put your comments on. Please ask a question and we'll try to get those questions on. Here's Crystal Liggins chiming in. What's up, Derek Brooks? Derek Brooks is in the building. But we're going to answer questions talking about, relationships, business, how to handle people that are entrepreneurs and you're married to them. Hey, there's April Carter. Sabrina, you weren't standing here. No. Right. Thanks.
Hey, I was backstage.
But the overall goal is just to laugh and to get some really good information out there. So let's go ahead and get this thing started. First of all, I know my wife and I, we have a child. So this COVID-19, we've had a buffer, if you will. I know y'all don't have a buffer. So how are y'all handling each other during COVID-19?
Hey, it has been good. See, here's the thing. Normally, we're running all over the place, doing everything apart from each other. So this has really been like a vacation, a staycation, so to speak, because we've been able to just chill, really get back to that first true love. We rekindled some things. I'm telling you, it's been a blessing.
Right, this is a PG show, so
Yeah.
No, it's quality comedy.
I know.
Just don't get descriptive.
We have rekindled some things. No, it's been good. I'm telling you, I can't complain.
Yeah. So, question. Everybody has had one. What's the argument and what was it about? You've been together for over 2.5 months. I know you've had at least one argument.
Oh man.
Hold me think about it.
Let's see, have we?
We've had some good discussions.
Yeah, not arguments. Though.
Well, that's
We haven't argued.
Yeah.
I
really.
ain't gonna let you make it be an argument either. No, normally you just go with people like, yeah, we had one. No, we didn't. Nope, show it. Next question. You're not gonna come in here and ruin my Corona vacation. I've been quarantined for 2 months going.
Well, I'll treat you like R. Kelly and I'll be Ed Gordon. So, tell me, what exactly is 16? Yeah, so, this for us comedians or just people in general, like, you got a lot of work that you do. She works for a nonprofit, but it's just been an adjustment working from home. You guys have the luxury?
I could not work from home. I'm telling you, I don't have the mental capacity to be able to focus and do the work I'm supposed to be doing. So
Right.
I probably would get fired at home.
Hold on.
They'll say, when the world open back up, don't you worry about coming back in because you're done.
Okay, so April. Okay, so I know that you're obviously working from home, but you're an entrepreneur. But is this something that you could do if you were in a 9-to-5 position?
I mean, and here's the funny part: is people think that entrepreneurs can sleep 10 o'clock. That's not the case. I get up just like I'm going to a regular job. This morning, I was up at 7:30 baking. So
Nice.
I'm up every day, and when we get off the show, I'm going back to finish working. So, it didn't stop. It got better.
Well, like business can increase because people are eating more, right?
Well, people want desserts to have just at the house.
Yeah, like people are eating more. Now here's the god awful truth. I have slimmed down almost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm not eating any and everything. I'm just like, I'm so into, and
I'm hating.
I am so into my work and into creating. I'm just not eating the way I normally would. And when I'm out cutting hair or just traveling and doing stuff, I'm eating everything. And I'm in the house. I'm snacking on crackers, little tortilla shells, like I'm peanuts. Right. Yeah. So I've actually dropped 10 pounds, and it's not as like I said, like I'm not working out per se. I'm just not eating as much, so they can't be healthy. So
I've maintained.
Yeah.
Snacking. I've maintained my eating, maintained my cooking. I'm good.
I've said say that I started to increase, but since we just about a week ago, we did a fast where we were doing fruits and vegetables. They challenged us online to do a quarantine reset because they know a lot of people been eating a bunch of stuff that they ain't got no business and all that stuff and gaining weight. So they say, let's just do a reset. So we've been doing fruits, vegetables, and water. And we dropped 10 pounds in a week.
Nice.
Wow.
Water,
Believe it.
water will do it.
Yeah, water. Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't stumble upon that challenge.
Water will definitely do it. You're like, hey, what's wrong? You ain't eating? Huh? I ain't dehydrated, I tell you that. I tell you that. Now, like what movies have y'all binged watched? Because I know that's what a lot of people have been doing. And I'll be honest, before we even get started, shout out to the 2 people who's allowing us to use your logins for I just shout them out. I know they're watching us. Yeah, thank you.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, I'm shouting them out. Resources, brother. You got to use your resources.
Hey, I used to use somebody log in until they got mad with me and cut me off and changed their password. Boy, I went to watch a show one day and couldn't log on. And I couldn't call them and say, man, you really going to do that? Really? So I just went on ahead that day and got me a Netflix subscription.
Don't put that out there in the universe.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you it happens.
Yeah, but I can tell you right now, if we lose the password, then we just didn't know what happened in that next episode. I'm not going to get another. I'm not paying. You know how brutal I am, bro.
Yeah. You wouldn't let cable go. Boy. We went a day without watching something on Netflix. We were around here like.
Brother had to scratch. Brother had to scratch. Now, you know the thing with you, Patrick. Now, you and your wife are heavily into like our church at the Mount Leeds, and y'all are heavily involved in the church. I mean, like y'all hearts are so huge, like y'all do so much. But y'all are still balancing so many things. Like, how do you, April? I'll ask you. Like, how do you balance that part of your life and your regular life as well? Because people see church folks and they put you on this pedestal. You bet not. You cannot. So how do y'all do that?
I do me. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to live your life for yourself. You can't worry about. A long time ago, I learned to stop caring what people think about me. Yeah. So once I got that freedom, I don't really care what people think. Like, I'm gonna live my life, because here's the thing: you could try to act a certain way to make people like you, and then people still gonna dislike you. So just do you.
Yeah.
And they'll like or love the real you instead of a facade.
Yeah. You, Patrick?
Yeah, the question was
I
how do you balance it? Nobody but the Lord. Nah. I balance it just by simply just doing, look, for real, just like she said, just doing me. Because if you look at it, everybody is out here doing them. They don't care whether they hurt your feelings or not. They don't care about anything. So I watch the way other people move. I said, you know what? I need to be a little selfish too and care about me a little bit more. So I started doing that because I used to be a real big people pleaser, man. Yeah. And people was my biggest downfall. People would hurt me more than anybody else or anything else. So yeah, I know how to take away this hurt. You drop the people part,
Well, I am.
I'm still I say I'm on the men's, but it's hard. It's hard getting over that. I'm still a people pleaser. I can say, oh, it don't matter what somebody says, but yeah, it does. Yeah. There's still people, especially the ones that I care about, that I'm just like, oh my gosh, what they say, what are they going to think? What are they, And so it's hard for me. Part of that is how I grew up. That was like instilled in me, that it matters what people think of you. It matters what people say. So as an adult, it's hard to get past that and trying to raise our daughter to not think that way, that it really doesn't matter what people think.
It's rough.
Well, I mean, me and Brenna's always talked about this too. Like when we finally came into the whole church thing, like we saw y'all as, well, I know I tell you all the time, Patrick, like I saw you as an authentic individual in the body of Christ. Like what you talk about and what you live, that don't flip once you outside the church. I mean, like you a regular dude, but you're not like, holier than thou. So that's what makes you a very likable person. That's what makes both of you a very likable person, because you're able to be easily connected to.
And they're fun people.
Right.
I never met any fun church people. Because everybody's just kind of like, I have to go.
She put the Catholic.
And they say something and they got the Bible in the pocketbook. And, there's nothing wrong with those people, but those are just not my people.
Yeah.
Those are people's people. They're not my people.
Right.
So I didn't know that you could go to church, be saved, and have fun. I didn't know you could do that.
That's my whole thing as far as church. I try to let people know, look, it is not boring. It's not stale. You can come and live for Christ and still have a good time. Right. I'm doing nothing no different than anybody else when I say having fun. I'm talking about I gotta be careful the way I say that. I'm doing nothing no different than no, but I love to dance. I listen to music. I do all those things.
Yes, you love to dance. If you put any track on, Patrick will stay. Patrick will shut a club or whatever event down.
But look, so now that I can't really go to the club and stuff because I don't want to mess up my witness, so I don't go to the club. But I'll tear a family reunion, wedding, a cookout, a cruise. I tear them up. I tear them out. I try to have all the fun I can, like it's my last night.
Yeah. Well, that's what, like a lot of people need is just to be like open and be honest. I know that you've heard me curse around you, but it's like I tell everybody, it's no secret. Yeah. You know me as you know me as a clean comic. That's for the stage and that's part of my brand. But I tell people, I say, please don't put me up there with this person is just Mr. Goody Two Shoes. I don't curse. I don't do all that. I just let people know my brand on stage or on TV or any platform, any public platform is a clean personality. What's scary is somebody said, yeah, but that's the same thing Bill Cosby was. I was like, oh no! Who's telling? Who is telling? Yeah, so like that. Crazy. That brings me to this. Like, y'all would be considered a power couple, right? Because you're out there doing a successful job out there performing as a stand-up comic, traveling around the nation. And then April, I guess about a couple of years ago, you said, hey, I'm going fully self-employed.
Officially January this year, I just said I'm going to do 100% this year.
Right. But what was the first time where you was like, I think I'm going to really invest a lot of time before you made that 100% commitment?
You know what? I never really gave it 100%, to be honest. I kept going back and forth because I would get job offers and I would try to, and see how it work out. But then this year, honestly, this year was the first time I said I'm going to go 100% for my business. I rebranded. I got new marketing materials and everything, and I've been going 100%. I got to say January this year.
Gotcha. And that's exactly what happened with COVID-19 in 2020. God said, oh, you think you're going to go full? Okay. Boom. Let's see how you do now. Let's see if you still trust me now. That's a lot of church people. What am I supposed to do? Hold up. Before all this, you were like, just call on him. Just call on him. You see those same people. Oh my gosh, how am I going to eat? Hold up. Didn't God provide you food in the refrigerator the last time?
And he will continue to for $9.99.
Yeah. But that's what a lot of people, I'm sure, were in your same boat. So did you waver once you made that decision and COVID-19 hit?
No. See, the one good thing about us is we've set our lifestyle to where we live off one income. So we don't depend on what I make from cakes to make the household work. Right. So it didn't impact my decision as to whether or not I would go back to work or not. Like I had the flexibility to say, okay, I'm gonna stick it out. Because it was a couple tough weeks where I had to give refunds back because of weddings, parties, and different things like that. So it's just like, whoa, hold on there, Lord. I need you to provide.
Yeah. Well, for Patrick and Sabrina, because y'all are the spouses to two entrepreneurs that just have these blinders set. Like, we need y'all on our side.
I was scared.
Right.
I was scared. Not just COVID-19.
Right.
Going back to when he first sort of planted the seed to say, I want to be self-employed.
2007.
And I was like, yeah, that's cute, but that's not what we doing. So, Because again, I grew up in a family. I didn't know any entrepreneurs. You work your 9 to 5, and if you want to change your job, then you do that. You retire and you live off your retirement, and you live happily ever after. There's no following your dream. Your job is your dream. Like, that's it. Mm. So when he brought that to me, I was like, no, we're not going to do that. But then I progressively started to see how unhappy he was. Yeah. And was putting full-time hours in both your 9 to 5 and your side hustle. Because that's all I thought it was. This is just a little cute side gig. There's no way you could, earn full-time income off of this. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, okay, you can leave if you keep your full-time income, if you bring in the same amount of income.
And I busted my butt for the next 9 years just to build that up and steal. And as soon as that day came, I came to her and I said, look, I'm ready. This is exactly what you said that we need to have. And I'm telling you, just trust me. Like, is that what you had to tell Patrick? Just trust me? Or did Patrick just say, you know what? Do it.
He knew I was unhappy at my job. So he was like, babe, like, you don't have to work. Just go to school. Because at this time I was in school getting my MBA. And he was like, babe, you don't have to do that. You don't have to work. Just go to school full time. But here's the thing, I was like, nah, because I'm the kind of person, like, I've been working since I was 14. My mom was a single mom, and she was like, you gotta go out there and get it for yourself. Like, you can't be dependent on no man, nobody else to do anything for you. So I was like, no, I'm gonna continue to work. But one day I was at work and I just got fed up, and I was just like, why am I coming here doing the same thing over and over again? Like, working hard to make somebody else's business grow, and then if they choose to give me a raise or a bonus, I get it. And if I don't, I still gotta work just as hard. Right. So I called him and I said, you know what, I think today is the day. And he was like, hold on, wait, what? what? But I was like, well, you told me.
Yeah, you throw it out there. It sounds good to be the knight in shining armor with the suit on.
Right. But what was your honest to God feel like? Be completely transparent. Like, tell people what you felt.
No, I was a little nervous at first. I was like, whoa, she really calling about this? Like, did she want to jump? And, and I think I kept asking, are you sure this what you this what you want to do, huh? But I knew I see, I'm the type of person I need to see it on paper. Yeah. I got to see the numbers on paper. If I don't see it, then we ain't get ready to
see it. I need to see it for about 6 months, and I need to see it.
What happened with that? We live by faith, April. We're like, hey.
Let me break it down, because it wasn't like a rash decision.
See, I drowned before. No. Somebody told me that one time. I drowned. It don't feel good. So I need to see it on paper.
We was paying my tuition every month. So when I got a scholarship, we no longer had to pay that lump sum of money every single month for tuition. It made up the difference, so it made it easier to make that decision.
Yeah.
Because it was like a wash almost at that point. For how much I was paying my monthly tuition and leaving my job. Once I didn't have to pay tuition, I got the full scholarship. It didn't change our income.
I got you. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Let me say, so I was nervous until she broke it down to me on paper, and I seen it. I was like, oh, so and realistically, if she think it can work, if she tell me it can work, because she handles the finances, I don't really mess with it. I'm going to take over it. We had that discussion, and I'll see what I can trick up real quick. No. She handles the finances, and she does a great job. Look, men out there, men. If you are too macho to let your wife handle the finances, I'm telling you right now, you got to go with what works. I am able to have something in the bank and nice things because she does a great job handling the finances. If it was up for me, no problem. I just want something after this. Look, so if it was up to me, I'd have messed it all up. So
yeah, me too.
So I gotta say, she showed it to me on paper, man, and it made sense. And I'm telling you, God has really blessed it. That's all I can really say, that God has blessed it.
Yeah.
We haven't lacked not one. As a matter of fact, we almost live a little better than we did.
A lot better.
Yeah, I mean, because
hey. Because somebody's on here like,
what? When she was talking earlier, told me we live out.
That's you, ain't it? Right? Hey, nephew. That's you, ain't it? Hey, I didn't know you were living better. Okay. You ain't here struggling. You living better.
Oh,
That's a shame. That's a shame that as Black people, we have to do that because we feel like, I'm just be completely transparent. Like, we feel like we did make a choice to try to do something better, and then somebody else may see us, and we understand people fall on hard times. Yeah. However, there's a difference between falling on hard times and falling and looking at everybody else to say, okay, that's exactly who I'm gonna grab on as soon as they come to. So we always like timid about letting people know how good we are living, because I know our church shows that, it's not a sin to
live a good life.
Right. To have, a good, I'm not going to quote it well. Somebody going to be, Bishop did not say that. Because that was probably one of those times where, yeah. But yeah, like I feel like we do tend to be, don't let everybody know how good you have and how good you're living. But yeah,
I think maybe you don't say how good you're living, but you talk about what it took to get there, because that's the important part. That we can start up like this. That and even to some people, it's like this is it.
Right.
Like, no, but for us, we're good.
Right.
We're in a good place, but we didn't start here. It took us a long time to get to this point.
20 some years. Now, speaking of relationships in 20 some years, and by the way, anybody, if you are tuning in, thank you so much. Continue to leave comments, ask questions, and we will try to get as many questions answered. But ask us questions, hit share on your page and share with people that's tuning in, because we have some really good conversation, and we still got another half hour to go. And it's about to get deep. So Sabrina was on Instagram, because social media is where you can find a bunch of things where you just kind of shake your head at. Okay.
Excuse me, Sabrina, I'm so glad you coughed. I was holding one for a long time. I was like, oh my God, I do not need these people to think that I don't have corona. I would thank you so much for coughing. That just relieved me. I was getting some blood vessel in my eye.
Oh my God.
Patrick gonna pass out.
That's why you over there sweating. Like, what's wrong with this brother? This brother is dripping. He drinking water. All of a sudden, you're going to have bubbles in that bottle. Go blow that bottle up. All right. So Sabrina was on Instagram, and she saw a post that read, quote, "Something about a man that doesn't bring me back anything when I said I didn't want anything doesn't sit right with me." I don't know if I need to read that again, but that kind of resonates with a lot of, and I can't speak for you, Patrick, but I would say some fellas that I know will have that complaint that you ladies will say things that you don't really mean, but you expect the opposite from. So do you understand that?
So we had this conversation.
Okay.
But
one of our arguments.
It wasn't an argument, it was a disagreement.
Oh, it was an argument.
You won't pipe it down. But when I first read that, at first I laughed. And then I went back and read it again. And I was like, well, wait a minute. If she said she didn't want anything, why is she mad she didn't get anything? Mm. So in my mind, I'm thinking and I'm not speaking for all women, but that whoever posted that must have had the frame of mind that even though I say nothing, that you should know I want something, you should bring it back when you come back. And I totally disagree with that. However, it begs a conversation about expectations. And if you don't put your expectations, if you don't share what you expect from another person, that could be in your marriage, it could be in a friendship, in your job. If you don't lay out what you expect,
right,
you cannot expect to get it back. So I know when I read that, I was like, I'm sure it was like cute and funny, but I was like, I read it all deep, and
that is confusing from my perspective. If I at least say, hey, did you want something? No, and I come back with a plate or with a whole box of Chipotle, and you be like, dang, well, you didn't have to tell me you weren't going to, and you've done that.
I have, because there's certain things I'm thinking, no, if you know that I like a certain place,
right?
if you know I like a certain place,
but you didn't want nothing.
But have you called and asked that I eat?
That is the dumbest thing I am. Are you kidding me? If you said you didn't want that,
You were stopping.
Okay, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, y'all can answer that question.
So, I do that
all the time.
I do that.
Yeah. So
April will ask me all the time. I may be the woman in this relationship. Now I'm hearing myself. I'm like, I may be a little. No, I ask all the time. She'll ask me all the time, babe, you want something? Babe, you want something? Babe, I'm cooking something. You want da-da-da? And I'm like, no. And realistically, at that time, I don't want it.
Right.
When she bring it in here, April is so particular about her stuff. She lays her fries just right. She put her burger, she stack it just right. So when you see it, her presentation is off the chain. So I can't help the fact that when I see it, I'm like enticed. I'm like, oh God, that you know what, babe, that ain't a bad idea.
I know my husband, so if I ask him, say, babe, do you want something? He'd be like, no. I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get it anyway. So that's why I can understand it, because I know PJ, he might not want it till he see that I have it.
So I like the comment, because if you notice your spouse well enough, you'll know that they have this particular habit and you will adjust.
Yeah.
Habit or expectation. To me, it's the same thing. I can't be mad, although you do this. If I cook, you wash dishes. But if we didn't have a conversation about, hey, if I cook, I'd like for you to wash the dishes, how would I expect him to know I expect him to wash the dishes unless I say that?
Yeah.
And I think it's a little different though.
We did that for a while, but April got a lot of dishes, boy. I don't.
April be cooking, man. she look. If we can tell you, I can't stand a kitchen that's just out of order. Like when she cooks, everything that she used to cook is laid out on the counter. That is so frustrating to me, because I'm like, clean it up so we can have a good presentation.
Well, then you're going to have burnt food then.
Well, that's not completely true. A smidgen, but it's not completely true.
Whatever.
She ain't never burned no food on purpose.
Oh, I hope not. We ate it.
It was Cajun. Right, scrape that toast off. Yeah. So I mean, like those type of things can be, relationship wise. Like, does anybody out there have a question, and we will answer those questions as well as we continue to move on. Look, I know. Hold up. Crystal is saying, lay it any type of way. April, see if he still want what? Lay it any type of way.
The hamburger.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Like
Quincy, you crazy to lay it any type of way.
Oh, don't give hey Ari, what's going on? You see you out there watching, because I can't read. Like, I want to know how to read, but I can't.
I think I still would want it. I mean, it's a taste thing for me too. I mean, presentation off the chain, but the taste thing too. So I just don't want it until I see it. That's just what it is. I don't think about it until you see it. You be like, you know what, that was a good idea.
Yeah.
So, but that's the same thing for me. You will be out.
Right.
You'll ask me before you leave, you want anything while I'm out?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. And then you come home with a cup from Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, oh, that's what you're doing. I didn't know. Well, you said you didn't want anything. I also didn't know you were going to Dunkin' Donuts.
Which to me,
so if you know I like Dunkin' Donuts, then you text me or you call me, hey, I'm going to swing by.
Which I've gotten better at.
You have.
I've gotten better at doing it. But here's my thing, all right? And I don't know if this is logic or what.
Probably
but
not.
If I ask you if you want anything because I'm getting ready to go out, which I don't do much, right? But if I say I'm getting ready to just go somewhere and take care of business or whatnot. If I say, do you want anything? And you say no, then if I'm out for 3 or 4 hours before I come home, our thing is to always say, hey, look, I'm on my way back. Did you want me to stop and get something? But if I'm literally just going for maybe 25 minutes or so, that was 25 minutes. Like, the fact to me that you changed your decision that you wanted something in that small amount of time doesn't make sense. So why do I need to say, hey, just let you know, come back just in case you want? It's too much.
I think it's too much in a particular place.
Huh?
Like if you're stopping in a specific place and you didn't tell her you were going to that place, she might want something from there. So you just call and say, hey, baby, you want something from Dunkin' Donuts?
If she knew I was riding just to handle some quick little business, and if I just made a quick stop, that's what I'm saying. Like, it was literally 10 to 15 minutes.
But I didn't know that was a quick stop. That may seem to be planned to me. Oh, he just don't go to Dunkin' Donuts. Not that I'm a huge fan of Dunkin' Donuts, but that was an example because you always know him to come home with a cup from Dunkin' Donuts, but still.
Or Sonic.
Right.
God forgive me if I come home with a Krispy Kreme box of donuts. I say, yeah, I only got this many, but you see that sugar ring of the ones that I didn't eat? Like, I only got this many. Quincy, stop lying. Right. I see 3 sugar rings involved all in your mouth. Hold up. Let me get this question. My husband's in the background laughing, as he should. He said he just brings it back to save himself.
That's right. James, save yourself.
Right.
Just throw your cup in the trash can.
Hold up.
I definitely. April always running back and forth to the store. April always running back and forth to the store. So I always say on my way home, hey, babe, do you want anything? I've gotten really good about, saying, just trying to stop her from going out so much.
Right.
And then really late, I'm telling you, it is something about going to do something that they like. I'm telling you, just out of the blue. When you get home, it's a different energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like, let me see what Elisha said. She said, if you in the place and ask if they want something, that's cool. But if you say no, you can't be mad.
True. Yes, if I'm posed with the question beforehand, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, it looks like you may have lost that one, Miss Bennett. All right. So let me go to the other. She was on social media again.
I have to be on social media for my job. That's how I found these.
Right. So this one could be a little bit deeper. It's a little bit deeper. You and your husband are having a heated disagreement, especially during COVID-19. Your mother-in-law walks in. I'm talking, and this is
to the women.
This is to the women, okay? So you and your husband are having a heated disagreement. Your mother-in-law walks in and slaps you and says, "You don't talk to my son like that." How does the rest of that story go for you, Angela?
My mother-in-law not like that, so I'm not even gonna answer that. I got the best mother-in-law. And that's no clout, nothing like that. My mother-in-law's bomb.com. So
hey.
Question.
You know what's so funny? And my sister just logged on as she said that. I was like, that is the craziest question.
Wow. You the bomb. I just heard her this morning, matter of fact, yeah. I've never had an argument with my mother-in-law. She don't interfere in our business, nothing like that. She's bomb.com. So I can't even answer.
Yeah, that's the same thing I said. When I read the question to him, I was like, you hear all these horror stories about mothers-in-law, and I'm like, I don't have that. I can text my mother-in-law, call her, we hang out, it's like it's a good time. However, when I read that post, somebody posted said that you would see me on the next episode of First 48.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know some people out there dealing with some mother-in-laws from hell, and I think a lot of it has to do with it's how the son was raised. Like if that son was babied to the point where the mother was always there to kind of reminds me of Martin's mom. On the TV show Martin. Like when you were mama's boy. Because there's a difference between being there's different levels, I think, of mama's boys, right? Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, there's different levels. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got the mama's boy where the mama, still washes his clothes at the age of 20, 30 years old, to the point where the mama comes to the house where this person now has a family and they're still imposing their mother. I know situations like that.
But you can have daughters that are like that. Because I was one of those daughters that still I was living by myself in my own apartment. Almost every weekend, I was taking my clothes home. I was living in Virginia Beach. My parents lived in Hampton, and I was taking my clothes to go. And I didn't sit there and wash my clothes. Mm-hmm. My mom washed my clothes for me. and I would leave there with groceries.
Like, can she wash my clothes for a second?
I would leave there with clean clothes.
Yeah.
I would leave there with a trunk full of groceries, a full gas tank. Like, so it's not just, I know. I mean, I look back on it now and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was almost like she didn't want me to leave the house anyway. So I think that was her way of sort of keeping me connected.
Okay.
So that I could come back. So it's not just the boys, it's girls too.
Yeah.
And actually, I can answer that question, Quincy.
Okay.
So in that situation, it comes with boundaries. Because I think it's certain things when you establish with your parents that you're not going to tolerate disrespect to your spouse, your parents won't do it. So I think it goes back to establishing boundaries like, Mom, that's not okay. Like, at that point, you didn't let some disrespect go too far, and then she feel comfortable enough to do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Because there is certain things that you can just allow, like you got to nip it in the bud early. You know, now I can't say, you know, like my mother-in-law, her mother, we've had about 3.
They have a debacle every year, every couple years.
Every 5 to 6 years, like on the dot. Like our last one was in 2014.
So it's a brewing.
So I feel the volcano shaking a little bit. I know it's coming. I just don't know when. I'm always ready to handle it. And I think our last one was like that was to the point where she had never seen me get, because I'm always calm, but she had never seen me get like, no, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. I'm a grown man. This is what's gonna happen. So
but I'm like, no, no. And he's like, no.
Because I told her something that I felt like, you know, it was just eating me up on the inside, right? It was just a certain dynamic of the family that I just wasn't used to seeing. And to be blunt, it was like there's a hierarchy, and when you are younger, no matter how old you are, you just let the hierarchy do whatever and say whatever they can say to you. And I don't believe that, because that's not how I grew up. I will respect you, but just because you're older than me, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm a grown man. I pay taxes. Your daughter ain't never want for nothing. Your daughter ain't crying to you saying that she's beat. She's, doing without. So you cannot disrespect me just because you are older than me. So I don't play that. So I let her know, and she was like, no, I said, no, nobody lets her know what she needs to know. And I'm going to tell her tonight. And by the time we got off that phone,
I was scared.
By the time we got off that phone, this woman and I were laughing, and she would say, I love you, Quincy. Thank you. But it was like, you would have never thought it would have ended that way. So
I could never see me doing nothing like that.
Yeah. I just can't, like, I don't care who it is. I just was raised to let somebody talk to me any kind of way. I'm sorry, Patrick. I didn't hear what you said. It looked like it was.
I said I really view you differently.
Hey man, look.
But y'all, Patrick especially, you know him. He's very much I know. Resolve this.
I'm just not
talk about this.
Yeah. I can't help it. Like it's got to be handled at that moment. And let's take a quick little break. Let me replug April Joy's Desserts. If y'all are just now tuning in, the young lady right there to the left of the screen, well, to the left of Patrick. She has her own business. She's self-employed. Y'all need to support her. Her information is in the description, okay, for event planning, catering needs. No matter if the event is big or small, even, well, not during COVID-19, but you are allowing people to come pick stuff up, and everything is safe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
We still open.
Yeah.
Still right.
Open. Mask on.
Gotcha. Mask on. Okay. So y'all definitely hit her up. Her information is in the description. And I'll do a quick little plug. Y'all see me and my wife with these shirts on. I strive to be perfect, but end up being human. So if anybody's looking for those shirts, I still have some. Before COVID-19, obviously, I printed out a whole bunch of shirts because I was going in and out on ships. But all that has been canceled for the foreseeable future. So I just got a bunch of shirts. And tonight only, this live only, okay, you can get a wristband that says the same thing. I strive to be perfect, but end up being human. A t-shirt, instead of $25, you can get both of them for $15, okay? So all you got to do is contact me. Just leave a message and says, look, I'm interested in t-shirts, and I will contact you, okay?
Or at
www.quincycarr.com.
.com.
Well, if you go there, that part of the link is broken. So, I mean, you can go there and you'll end up right back on Facebook Live.
Try to help people out.
No, I don't have my merchandise site working because they had a little tweak in it, so I just have to do all the orders.
And still see other things.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, so you can also visit QuincyCarr.com. Cool. All right. Now, as we got about another 15 minutes, man, and let me get for you, Patrick, get into your comedy career a little bit. Now, you've been you recently jumped into the secular comedy world a little bit more than you ever have a couple of years ago, because you were always used to performing in front of church type audiences. What was that transition like? And is that something that you see yourself being able to play both sides of the fence equally?
Yeah, I feel like I definitely can play both sides. The transition for me wasn't difficult. It was just a little different. So I just wanted to change. I'm still clean no matter what I do. So even though you hear secular, that doesn't mean I'm out there cussing.
Right.
I'm still clean and I still stay true to myself. And most of the time people can tell that I'm still a Christian or some kind of Christian, not necessarily a gospel comic, but they'll say, hey, you a preacher? After I come off the stage or something. I don't know whether it's my mannerisms or what, but I don't think it was difficult. I just like the fact to be able to make people laugh and have a good time and forget about any pains or hurts that they have been through before being introduced to me. I really enjoy it, man. I like doing both sides. As a matter of fact, I was received really well. I can say that. That was my reservation. I was like, well, I don't know how they gonna look at me. And I'm talking about more so my peers in the comics and stuff like that. You know, I never really just wanted to be the church boy or, oh, here come a preacher man. Oh, put your drink up. Oh, here he come. Oh, I can't cuss around him. No, I still want you to be you. Just know it has nothing to do with what I do and how I present myself. So, and that has been received well. I mean, some people say, yo, you a dope dude. Shout out to a couple of comedians. I don't want to get the name and names, but a bunch of them have told me, hey, bro, you a dope comedian, man. You like a cool dude. You're the coolest church dude I know. And I'm like, wow, you know. So that just goes to show church people need to change a little bit.
No, I think you've navigated it well because I've watched your journey, bro. And I've seen, like, I remember at the beginning of 2019, like you had done what was like this competition at this major comedy club here in the area. And it was kind of unfairly done. And that was in 2018, maybe 2017, 2018. And in 2019, I remember you saying, you know what? I know I'm kind of beyond, performing for votes and stuff like that. But if I want to get into this different realm of comedy, I'm gonna just have to do what I would have to do. And that's what's called younger people in comedy or just in entertainment. You got to pay your dues. Even if you're beyond, when you're starting in a new place, you got to start from the bottom. But you dedicated yourself and you won 3 straight times to put yourself in a position to start opening up. And you opened up for some big acts like who?
Yeah, big acts like Tony Robbins. I was like, big acts. Tony Robbins, George Wallace, George Wilbur. Wilbur, yeah. Coolest guys I ever met, man. Key to the game. He was just, man, he was super dope. Opened for some great people, man. Got an opportunity to work with and shake hands with some great people. So that was really, really dope. But yeah. So back to what you were saying, and a couple of comedians, you and another comedian helped me with that. Because I was like, man, how do you break into something like that? And I remember you always saying, paying your dues and how you came up through, Thurgood and just hosting abilities. And, a lot of people may not have, because I looked at it like I skipped some steps, because in the church realm, if you're funny, you got a little bit of charisma, and you can talk, they'll give you a mic.
Absolutely.
And then once you get the mic and you find out, oh, I can do, like my grandma says, You say, oh, you done went out there and made a job. Once you find out that you can monetize your gift, so to speak, then you automatically shoot up to just doing shows, and you might not have never hosted or know how the comedy club thing works. So for me, I was like, I shot up there. So when you say, like, I felt like it was beneath me, like kind of doing it for votes and stuff, I felt like, I'm kind of doing my thing. I'm getting known. So I don't know if I need to necessarily go that route, but it was very necessary that I go that route because I got introduced to blue comedy, the secular comedy, as well as, that side, those peers and stuff like that, man. And it's just been a journey, dude. I'm telling you, I enjoy it. I love it.
But you were like a triple threat because you were already doing this character. Everybody knows you by Petey Ray Red. Yeah. You've been doing that character since you were in high school. Yeah. And then I remember when I met you, I said, bro, you can perform as Patrick. You just got to be comfortable with who you are on that stage. And you have just morphed into, two different individuals that can be on the same show on the same night. And people be like, yo, Petey Ray Red, I'm here for Petey Ray Red, or I'm here for Patrick. But here's the triple threat. You now are producing your own shows, man. Talk about this new split decision.
Oh my God, bro. I never thought that I will be the first to admit I never thought I would step out there and do that. Right. I told other comedians, you can have that. I'm good. I don't see the benefit in it. Y'all out here struggling, selling tickets, hustling, bustling. I don't have
the gray hairs I got.
But I was like, I cannot do it. I can't do it. I don't have the first of all, I don't like my feelings hurt. I never was good at soliciting anyway. I remember being on the corner selling Krispy Kreme donuts as a kid for fundraising for church and stuff. And if somebody rolled by me, I'm like, so they don't want my donuts? I ain't got nothing to do with Krispy Kreme, and they don't want my donut. I would take that so personal. So for me, I was just like, yo, I'm good on the producer side. I could just be the talent. And in order for me, I say I could just be the talent, and I'll just go do my time, get my check, and go. Y'all out here hustling, bustling. I don't see the reward. I don't see the return that grand where I should just jump out there.
If you can see that look April just made.
Until listening to a couple of comedians, me get my feelings hurt, wanting to be a part of everybody else's stuff. And people don't want to put you on, or people, may not like the way you do something. People may not like me doing the character Petey Ray Red. People may say, man, look, I'm good on that. That dude do a character. He's stepping fetch. He's buffoonery, blah, blah, blah. Or, man, I got time to work with these people, blah, 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 right? Until that happened enough times where I say, people confirmed it and said, it's time for you to step out there and do your own thing. Gotcha. Yo, it is time for you to do. I was like, I do my own thing. No. I never forget. Nikita B told me. Yeah. She said, when is your show? I was like, I'm doing this kid thing. She said, you're a comedian. When is your comedy show? And I was like, she said, you got 4 days to get back with me. She said 3 days. She said, Jesus rolled on the third day. You got 3 days to get back with me. If you don't get back with me in 3 days, you can forget it. We're not cool. And I didn't even know it. That was my first time meeting her. She had been on TV, all this stuff, traveled the world, a well-renowned comedian. And for her to stop and give me that little, push, I'm like, you got to do that. She said, you got it. You just got to step out there. And I need you to call it what it is. And I was like, what? She was like, call it what it is. You scared. It's fear. And I was like, yo, I am scared. Yeah. So that, and then, like I say, a couple more, trying to do this, Steve Harvey had a big competition, and I wasn't upset that I didn't win. I just was like, it was messed up the way that it happened, because I felt like I didn't get a fair shake. Well, guess what? When it's not your stuff, they don't have to give you a fair shake. They can do whatever they want to do. So that's when I realized when it's and I'm going to go with you, Quincy, when it's your brand, you can create whatever you want it to be. You can do it however you want to do it, because guess what? It's yours. And that's when I rock with that. I say, now I see what Quincy, even if it wasn't all about the ticket sales and stuff like that, that control is a monster. Oh my God. table over there. I don't like it there. Move it to the other side of the room.
The same way I was losing people. I don't like working with Quincy, but the one thing that I remember, or the one thing that I always say, people can say whatever they want to say about me, but in my mind, it's not negative. It's negative to them. So if they say Quincy's too controlling, or Quincy wants everything to be a certain way, or Quincy always has to be professional about it, tell me when I hear something negative. Okay, right. Then that's when I'll feel like I need to change. But if I'm putting myself in a position to win, and you're a person who's going to be, around that area, so I can be in a position, let's do it together, but follow my lead. That way, if I fail at it, I can be accountable and say, yeah, I did that. I messed up. Let's fix this. And a lot of people aren't willing to be accountable when they're in a leadership position. So that's why I take it so tough about anytime my name is on something. That's my brand I'm worried about. So I need to have some input, or you really don't want me on the show if you want it to be a certain way. And I'm okay with how people think, which leads me to this question here as we, getting close to wrapping up. Patrick, as a veteran comic, because you do a lot of videos, like you're always putting out content every day, but I also know that deep down inside, you do have this thing inside you that just wants to be discovered at some point. Okay, so it's not just you just putting it out, is you putting it out with the hopes that it catch fire and it goes viral. Okay, yes, so in this biz, as a veteran comic, do you get frustrated that you're not that dude?
Yeah, most definitely. It can definitely be frustrating, especially when you do it for the purpose of making it. I had to lose that part of it. Now I do it because I enjoy it and it's a part of my craft. Now I am enjoying the journey. At first I was looking at it as a means to an end. Oh man, I cannot wait until this catch fire. I was doing it. So every video that I put up, because I thought every video was going to go, every video that I put up, I would be like, oh man, I'm putting so much into it. I'm like, I only got 900 likes today or 900 views. I didn't get 1,000. My videos normally do over 1,000. Oh man, I can't believe,
First of all, very disrespectful. I'm trying to break 200. You know what? This very, very disrespectful. I'm just saying 900. How you get 900? You know how much work I'm doing to get 200?
You're gonna aim out here buying likes.
Oh my God. Got some corrupt money. Hey, look, before you finish answering that question, let me, for the people that have tuned in the entire show, thank you so much. Here is the souvenir. You kidding. Here is the trivia question for this show, okay? Early in the show, April mentioned the month she actually dedicated 100% to being self-employed. So the first person to put the month of this year, it was the month that she started. You only have a few months to choose from. So the first person that puts the correct month, I will cash app you, and make sure when you put your answer, you put your cash app in the comments so I can cash app you $25. It's just that easy. Answer that trivia question before this live ends. Okay, Patrick, put your phone down. You already said y'all doing good. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
But that's why I'm doing good, for taking advantage of opportunities.
There you go.
Yeah. So the first person that answers it correctly, put your cash app in the comments, and after this live is over with, I will answer and let you know if you've gotten it right. So y'all just keep putting in the answer and make sure you put in your cash app after when you put an answer. Patrick, finish answering that question, and then I have one more wrap-up question for everybody, okay?
Yeah, I definitely do get frustrated with some. I used to get really, really frustrated. Now, not so much. But that is the way of the world. That's the new way of moving forward. So even though you call me a veteran comedian, I appreciate that. I don't look at it, even though I've been in the game for a long time, I don't look at it like I'm a veteran comedian. I feel like I'm kind of with this new wave of comedians, and that's the way that it's going. So I would hate not to take advantage of these times. That's just the way it is.
Okay. All right. Well, for everybody, I appreciate you ladies allowing us to get this comedy talk out the way. Regarding, each of your careers, everybody has a different career path. I'm an entrepreneur, comedy, and like there's nothing else. Patrick is a professional comedian, but you still have a 9 to 5, and you're a youth pastor at a major church. April, you're running your business. 110% is just on you. And Sabrina, you're working for a nonprofit. What did you ever wish for regarding how your career ends up? I'll let you go first.
I would say I probably at this point in my career thought I was going to be the director of something.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was the natural progression of my career.
Yeah.
But what I learned is it's really just about the work. And as long as I am doing a good service and helping people, then I'm good. I don't need the title. I don't need a bunch of letters behind my name. But yeah, I thought that I would be in a different place. That was probably a couple years ago, but I think I finally found sort of my purpose in really educating people. So
okay, how about you, Patrick?
For me, I thought I would have been and made it by now. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. So going back to some of the earlier conversations, I've opened for some major people, had a lot of promises and stuff like that. But because it is their stuff and they can decide whether they want to put you on or not, I have become a promoter, and I've been doing my own shows. And it's so crazy because you can decide who you want to put on, who you want to work with, how you want to work with them, who you want to pay, and all that stuff. And it's just great, man. You could create your own little pathway. So
okay, cool. April.
I would never thought I would be a baker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd be working in the legal field, but I guess that's what I would have thought I would do.
mm-hmm.
That's right. You were working in the legal field, and it's like, wow.
That could have been a trivia question because actually I didn't know until I met April, but April and I at different times used to work for the same law firm.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I only had $25 to give away. God damn.
Corona came.
I'm sorry, April. I'm sorry.
I didn't think I would be. I'm tired, y'all. I didn't think I would be a baker. If I could, hindsight was 2020, I would have went back and I would have, I guess, really followed my passion earlier on. Is what I would have did. Like, because I can only imagine like the progression I've made in like maybe 4 or 5 months. If I had given 15 years to myself in my business, where I would be at.
Wow.
Wow.
But then, that goes to the question we were talking about the other day, like how do you define success?
Right.
So,
right. Success
for another day.
Right. Success is just happiness and where you are and how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what success is. I mean, like my answer to that question, what did I ever wish regarding how my career ends up, was just to always be able to, when I want to do something, I can do it. The biggest thing is being told I can't do something, and that's always been the fuel to my fire. So I don't care what it is. It could be I can't fix cars, and in my mind, you don't tell me what I can't do. So, like how I thought my career would end. You know what's crazy? Some people can look at the stuff that I've done and they'll say, man, but you doing it. Like you got this, you got that, you doing that. And in my mind, it's like, okay, that's what I plan to do, but I'm trying to do this. Like, are you not satisfied? And it's like, for me, success-wise, it's not that I'm not satisfied. It's like, I expect to be able to do certain things, and I do closet humbly get excited about it. And I'd be like, that's what I did out there. But then I'll say, okay, yeah, hey, I appreciate y'all so much.
You expect greatness.
Right. And I expect so much for myself. So where I am right now, I can't say it's where I expected it because it's not what I thought I'd be doing. I knew I'd be a barber, a professional barber, but not, talking to thousands of people or however many people. And I have a stutter problem still to this day. And so to know that would be my job or how I would make a living is talking to people, and I stutter. So yeah, I never knew how it would turn out, but that was very interesting from the 4 perspectives on that. And this has been a fun hour. Thank you all so much for taking the time, April. I know, as you said, you're tired, but you're going right back to work. That's what entrepreneurs do. They go right back to work. Right. You know, Patrick is going to be, hey, babe, you making hamburgers? I want one. Patrick, man, can you plug yourself before we get out of here? I'll let both of you plug yourself where people can follow you.
Yep. So please make sure you follow me on Facebook, Patrick Williams, or Petey Ray Red's fan page. That is PEATYRAY-RED. Don't forget the dash. On Facebook, on Instagram and Twitter, it's just Petey Ray Red. PEATYRAY-RED.
All right.
This is April Joy Desserts. If you look me up on Facebook, Twitter, but then also you can go to my website, which is www.aprilsjoydesserts.com.
All right, no problem. And before we get out of here, did you want to plug yourself, your comfort place that you work for?
I mean, that was shade. No, I'm not an entrepreneur, and no, I don't have a business. However, I'm the outreach coordinator for the Up Center's foster care and adoption program. So we are always looking to recruit foster families out in the Hampton Roads community. So please follow us at the Up Center on Facebook and on our website at theupcenter.org.
Absolutely. And the answer to the question, to the trivia question, is April? January of this year. So if you are the first person that said January, as soon as we close this live off, I will contact you, I'll contact you to ensure I got the correct Cash App, or however you want to have this money, and $25 will be in your bank account. If you want it instantly, they do take a percentage. But if you just want it, you want to wait 2-3 days, you get the whole $25. Okay? Hey, bless y'all, man. Thank y'all for doing what you do for the community, for the church, community, and just people that's just
being who you are.
Yeah, just being the good-natured people that you are. We certainly appreciate having you as part of our lives. And thank you for joining me.
This is fun.
On episode number 4. So y'all tune in next week. I'll have another exciting guest, or 2 or 3. You don't know. Next week. Y'all stay tuned. And thank y'all very much for joining us today, Patrick and April.
Thank you so much for having us, man. We appreciate it.
All right. So thank y'all again, people. And once again, if you guys are interested in this shirt, these are the 2 colors available, red and also black. And if you get the shirt today, normally the shirt is $25, but if you get the shirt, you'll get a wristband that also says, I strive to be perfect, but end up being human, but you get them both for $15. Just leave your a comment that says, I'm interested in the shirt, and I'll contact you to get you the information so I can send it to you in the mail. Okay. And I appreciate you guys supporting. Comics are currently unemployed right now. So, anything helps. And if you did get a chance to watch my comedy special, I actually streamed it for the very first time. I premiered it on Facebook Live. So it's only going to stay up because it is an actual TV program. And I don't want to discredit my sponsors that pay for commercial spots. But it is the full TV program with the commercial spots. But it's a 1-hour stand-up comedy special. It's hilarious, and I appreciate her. I'll slide you your money later. But it is hilarious. It is fun, and it was done right here in the Hampton Roads area. First comedy special ever to be filmed in Virginia Beach that I know of, and also picked up for distribution. And I've been airing it on TV sporadically, but I am working on a new comedy special. So just keeping the creativity juices going while we are waiting to get back in front of live audiences. So thank y'all for tuning in. This has been Quality Comedy Time with Quincy. And remember, stay apart and stay safe so we can all stay together. All right? Y'all keep safe, please, during this time. All right? And enjoy the rest of your week. All right. Peace.